Good evening, everyone. My voice is clear. My voice is clear. Yes. Okay. So this is your task 3 class, right? So first of all, I'll give you the description of your task 3. Okay, which is that. Yes. So first of all, I'll give you the description of your task 3, which is this task involves using the Matplotlib library to visualize data, and your responsibility is to create a bar chart and a line chart using Matplotlib to visualize data from a pandas data frame, and you have to customize the chart with label and titles. Okay, so in this there are only two charts, which is bar chart and a line chart, but we'll do two more chart, which is scatter plot and a histogram. Okay, so you have to do total 4 plots in this task. Okay, so now we'll start with our code. Okay, so first important task is to import all the necessary libraries into your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so here I'm importing the first library, which is pandas. Okay, which is import pandas as PD. So this is important library for the basics function. Okay, there are basic function inbuilt in this library. Then comes second library, which is your numpy library. Import numpy as np. So this library is used for handling the numeric data set. Okay, then third library comes is import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Okay, so this is your third library. This is useful for plotting different kinds of plots and charts. Okay, this is for visualization. Then comes the C1 library. Okay, so this is the advanced library for your visualization. Okay, in this there are many advanced level of plots and charts. Okay, so first of all you have to import all the necessary libraries into your Jupyter notebook. Okay, then your second task is to load a CSV file into your Jupyter notebook. So how to load a CSV file? You have to first assign any variable name. Here I am taken data. Then equals to pd dot read underscore CSV function you have to use. Then inside the parenthesis and in between the inverted commas, you have to copy the location of your file. Okay, so you have to go where your file is downloaded in your desktop. Okay, so here is my file. First of all I'll show you the data set. Okay, okay, so my file is not opening. Okay, so from here we have to copy its properties. Okay, so from here we have to first copy its properties part. Okay, so this is the location of the file. This you have to copy first. Okay, then you have to paste it here, and you have to use double slashes in between. You know how to load a CSV file. Okay, then you have to copy the title part of your data set, and you have to paste it here. Then in the end you have to write .csv. Okay, so this is how you can load a CSV file into your Jupyter notebook. Now what we going to do, will display some of the rows for checking the reference, that how our data set is. Okay, so for it I'm using the head function. So basically head function will give you, by default it will give you the top 5 rows. Okay, but I want the 10 rows, top 10 rows, so I have to mention here. Okay, so it will show you the top 10 rows of your data set. Okay, so this is your top 10 rows of your data set. Okay, so from this you can see that what kind of data set we are having. Okay, so these are the column name, which is year, on underscore, crop, age, size, income. Okay, so this is our data set. Basically from this you can see our reference of our data set. Okay, now our first plot, now we'll plot our first plot. Okay, which is scatter plot. Okay, scatter plot with year column against the on column. So I'm so I'm plotting the scatter plot between the year column and the on column. Okay, so first of all I'll tell you that what is the scatter plot. Okay, so scatter plots are used to observe the relationships between variables and uses dots to represent the relationship between them. Okay, so this is the motive of the scatter plot. So for the scatter plot we have to use plt dot scatter function for it. Okay, for plotting the scatter plot. Then we have to mention first variable of our loading csv file. Then we have to mention our first column, which is year here. Then comma, we have to mention our second column, which is on here. Okay, so this is your syntax for plotting the scatter plot. Now we'll add the title to the plot. Okay, so for adding the title to your plot you have to use plt dot title function. Okay, then inside it you have to mention the title name. So here title will be scatter plot. Okay, so this is how you can assign the title to your scatter plot or any plot. Now we'll setting the x and y labels. Okay, so now we'll set the x and y labels. So for this we have to use plt dot x label for setting the x label. Okay, and inside it you have to mention the column name which you want in your x axis. Okay, then second, for y label you have to use plt dot y label function, and inside it you have to mention the column name which is on. Okay, so this is for setting the x and y labels. Now comes for showing the chart, you have to use plt dot show function. Okay, so this is your syntax of the scatter plot. Okay, so this is your scatter plot which is in dot representation here. Okay, so this is your scatter plot between the two column, which is year and on, and your title by. And for plotting the scatter plot you have to use scatter function for it, and you have to mention first column, then you have to mention second column, like this. Then comes for the title part. This is your title part. For adding the title we have to use title function, and this is your title which is scatter plot. Then comes for the setting the x and y label, we have to use x label function and y label function. So here x axis is your year and y axis is your on. Okay, and for showing the result you have to use plt dot show. So this is your scatter plot which is in dot representation. Okay, now comes to our second plot, which is your line chart. Okay, so now comes the second plot, which is your line chart. So we'll plot a line chart with year against on column. Okay, so basically first I'll tell you what is line chart, why we use line chart. Okay, so basically line chart is used to represent a relationship between two data x and y on a different axis. Okay, and so for plotting the line chart we have to use plot function for it. Okay, rest all syntaxes will be same. Okay, in this square brackets you have to mention your first column, which is here year. I am taking the same two columns. Okay, so here is year, then you have to mention your second column, which is your on column. Okay, rest for setting the title and xy label, all syntaxes are same. Okay, so here for adding the title you have to use this function, and here I am changing the title. Now the title is your line chart. Okay, and X label is your, Y label is on. Okay, so this is your line chart. Okay, this is your title, line chart. This is your X axis year. This is your Y axis on. So this is basically the representation in the line form. Okay, also you'll see here the straight line in the of the blue color. So this is because of the year column. See, year column is constant, which is 2008. So that blue line, constant blue line, represents the year column. Okay. So yes, this is your line chart. For plotting the line chart, we have to use plot function. Okay. Rest all other syntaxes are same. Now comes to the third chart, which is bar chart, or you can say bar plot. Okay, so third is your bar chart, or you can say the bar plot. So basically it is a graph that represents the category of data with rectangular bars. Okay, and with length and height that is proportional to the values which they represent. Okay, so this is your bar chart. So for plotting the bar chart we have to use plt.bar function, and again rest all syntaxes are same. You have to first mention your first column, which is here. Then you have to mention the second column, which is on. Okay, then all syntaxes are same. Okay, so here title I'm changing and I'm doing the bar chart. Okay, so I'm changing the title here. Okay, so rest all other syntaxes are same. You have to use bar function for it. Okay, so yes, this is your bar chart, or you can say bar plot. This is the representation in the rectangular bars. Okay, and its length and height is proportional to the value they represent. Okay, and here x-axis is year and y-axis is on. I'm taking the same two column. Okay, you can change the column names. Okay, so this is your bar chart. Now the last one comes the histogram. Okay, so histogram I hope all know. So basically histogram is used to represent data in the form of some groups. Okay, so it is a type of bar plot where the x-axis represents the bin ranges. Bin ranges means interval ranges. Okay, while the y-axis gives information about frequency. Okay, so this is your histogram. So for plotting the histogram you have to use hist function. Okay, and histogram you know is only of the one column. Okay, and here I am taking the column which is income column. Okay, so I am plotting the histogram of the income column. Okay, so yes, for setting the title I have to use plt dot title function for it. Okay, and your title will be here histogram. Okay, so your title will be histogram in this. So I'm setting the title name, which is histogram. Then for showing the result you have to use plt dot show. Okay, so this is your histogram. Okay, so here title is your histogram. This is the representation in the groups. Okay, so yes, this was all your task 3. You have to make this 4 charts, or you can say plot. Okay, so first of all you have to import the necessary library, which is this pandas, numpy, matplotlib, cbon. Then you have to load a csv file into your Jupyter notebook. Okay, by using the function pd.read underscore csv, and you have to copy the location here. Then for taking the reference, okay, you have to display some of the rows. So here are top 10 rows, and these are the columns that are in our data set. Okay, age, size, and count. Then comes the scatter plot. For plotting the scatter plot we have to use the scatter method, and we have to mention the column names like this. Okay, then for setting the title we have to use title function, and inside it you have to mention the title of your plot. Then for setting the x and y labels, you have to use x label function and y label function. Okay, and for showing the result, you have to use plt.show function. So this is your scatter plot title part, and this is your x-axis and y-axis. Basically, scatter plot is a dot representation, and this is your line chart. This is in the line. This is your line representation. Okay, and for line chart, plotting the line chart, you have to use plot function. Rest all other syntaxes are same. Then for the bar chart, or you can say bar plot, you have to use bar function. Rest all the syntaxes are same. And this is your bar chart, which is a rectangular bars, and its length and height is proportional to the value they represent. Okay, this is the value they represent. So this is your bar chart. And last comes the histogram. For plotting the histogram, you have to use hist function. Okay, it will show you the data in the group form. Okay. So yes, this was all your task 3. I hope this is clear.